25 years later. My father is a minister, which I know you were probably thinking that when I got up here. Now, my dad was the head of the religion when I was growing up, which I got no dramas with any of that stuff. But the problem with me being a minister's kid, there's always someone inside the church that tells you how to live your life. The problem I got with that is I have a rare disease. And this disease is I speak before I think. So people will come up to me when I was young and say, hey, Justin, you've got this problem in your life. And I go, look, you really suck in your own life. I'm not sure why you're telling me what to do. Which apparently you don't say that to ministers' wives. I learned pretty quickly. Anyway, in 1995, I was 25 years old. A lady came up, she said, Justin, you've got an attitude problem. I said, no, I don't. She said, you answer everyone back. I said, no, I don't. And she said, until you stop doing that, you're going to end up in the scrap heap of life. The only reason I started my first business plan was piss the lady off in my father's church. That's it. No more, no less. I didn't think of it anymore. I think a lot of people these days, when they go into business, are doing this whole they look like they got constipation because they're thinking so hard. It's just like, really, it's not that hard. You know, are you happy where you're at? Are you not happy where you're at? Go do something about it. So, as we know, when you start a business, you've got to go do your research. So I went and did my financial research. I went to the local ATM machine and I put my key card in it. And at age 25, I had $1.25 in the bank. Now, you cannot piss someone off with $1.25. So I rang my little brother, Dean. I said, Dean, I need to borrow some money. He said, why? I said, I want to piss so-and-so off in Dad's church. He goes, all right, here's $50. So with that, I was filthy rich. Then I went and did my market research. Now, my market research was how many printers, to start off with, how many printers are in this in the area, because I only had $50 and I had no petrol in my car. I had a Mini back in those days. I had no petrol in it, and I didn't want to use my working capital. I know the words now. My working capital for fuel. So my parents gave me $5, and if you ever owned one of those old Minis, $5 gets you a very long way. So my research was, how far will that $5 get me and back, and how many printers are in that whole area? There was one. So I rang up Marty. Marty's one of my best mates. We used to do nothing together, and we were really good at it. I said, I'm going to start a business today. He said, you know how? I said, no. He said, can I come along and watch then? Come along. The one thing I hope that most people get when I speak is, I hope you get more than one thing, but one of the things I want you to get is the whole fun factor. Have you ever met those people that used to be the life of the party and then they become a businessman? You go, what the hell happened to you? Like, being a business owner should give you more freedom to be able to enjoy the whole process. Is it hard? I was going to say a bad word then. Absolutely. Really hard. But it's enjoyable because it's yours. There's this whole ownership. Not making money for someone else and the boss taking it all home all the time. It's your own thing, which comes with highs and lows and whatever. But it's got to be fun. So I said, right, come along and watch. So we went out to the same printer that I found, and I walked in and I said to him, hello, I've chosen you out of everyone in the yellow pages to be my printer, which wasn't a lie. I just couldn't afford to go to anyone else. And he said, that's fantastic. And I said, I'm thinking the same thing. And he said, how much money do you have? And I said, well, I've got $50. He said, well, you need 680 for the startup. And I said, well, if I had 680, I just would have said to you, mate, I have 680. But as I just said to you, mate, I have 50. Can we just have a $50 conversation, not a $680 conversation? He said, I can't do it. And I said, well, you're missing the opportunity. And he said, what opportunity? I said, pretty simple, to make $50, mate. It's a simple conversation at this point. He went back and forth. In the end, he said, okay, I'll do it, but don't tell anyone. And I remember saying to him, mate, no one's ever going to listen to me talk anyway, so I'm not going to tell anyone. Just don't tell him. Attitude, I started the business Attitude, obviously, but Attitude started off originally as a slogan T-shirt company. Slogans such as, it's all about luck, just ask any loser. I don't have an attitude problem, you have a perception problem. My personal favourite, sarcasm is just another service I provide. I got 4 shirts made up for the $50. I sold 3 of them to 3 of my mates. One of them was my brother. And Dean said, I just gave you $50, why do I have to pay you 20 for a shirt? I said, well, I'm a businessman. We all went to church the following Sunday. We all walked in at the same time. We all sat on the front row. We all had the same T-shirt on, and this lady walked in and she was ticked. It's the best $50 I've ever spent in my entire life, right? Now, I wasn't expecting a great deal from that. I do think sometimes people have unrealistic expectations when it comes to the outcomes of their business. I really do. I do a lot of business mentoring, and a lot of the times the first session I'll sit with someone, they tell me what they want to achieve, and I go, yeah, not going to happen. It's not that I'm trying to blow their bubble or burst their bubble, it's just there's got to be a reality thing there. Will you pay your house off in the first year? Probably not. Just get used to that, maybe the second or third or fourth, doesn't really matter, but you've got to have goals. My goals was to upset the lady, tick, done. Now, I wasn't expecting anything from that. I was going to go away and the following Sunday or the following week, come up with something else to piss her off the following Sunday. I thought, this is going well. We'll just keep it going. But on that day, people come up and said some stuff to me. First thing, I love your T-shirt. I said, thank you. Second thing, can I buy one? I hadn't thought that far ahead. Now, the only time I talk about figures is now just to show you how it went, and then we'll get back to this point. Now, I'm a really big believer in organic growth in a business. You can go throw a crap load of money at something, but if it's not going to work, you've just wasted a crap load of money. We've got to find out if a business is going to be organic or not. Can it just grow by itself? Is there a way that it can start rolling by itself, and how do we capitalise on that? Now, I know that now. I know that's a great way to do it. I did it in the first place. I didn't know you're supposed to do it in the first place, but for me, it was common sense. Now, common sense is like deodorant. The people that really need to use it rarely do, right? So if you have this whole common sense approach to running a business, you actually won't go that far off track if you think about it. So my organic way of doing it. So I sold the 3 shirts, could make 6 shirts. So those 6 could make 12, 24, 48, 96. Need a calculator after that, but that's the way that the business grew. My first year's turnover was $50 start was $980,000. The second year was $2.5 million, $5.5 million, $12.5 million, $22.5 million. Last year the business was $37.5 million, so it sort of went okay. The good thing though about $37 million, besides the cars, I love cars, but besides the cars, I don't normally get ladies going, I don't get the car thing, I don't get the shoe thing. Same thing, really. So besides the cars, my wife's here. I can bag her out now because she said she was going to come up on stage, but she won't because she told me not to say that, so I didn't say it to get you up on stage. But this whole shoe thing, I'm not sure if any other blokes had this same problem. When they come out and say, which shoe would you like, or which one should I choose? Has anyone else done that? And you choose one? They go for the other one. Has anyone else noticed that? Don't ask me in the future. But anyway, so besides the cars, but the brand became an international brand, sold obviously all over the world. I write books. So sold over the world. Now, wherever that lady goes on holidays, I am now pissing her off globally.